Kindness, a virtue deeply embedded in Buddhist philosophy, is celebrated as a cornerstone of peace and harmony. We're encouraged to be kind, to uplift others, and to give selflessly. But have you ever paused to reflect on the hidden complexities of kindness? How it shapes your inner world, your relationships, and your boundaries? Today, let's delve into an honest exploration. How kindness, when misunderstood or misapplied, can both elevate and unsettle your life. 1. Setting high expectations for others. Kindness in its purest form is a gift, freely given without expecting anything in return. Yet, as humans, our giving often carries subtle expectations. We might hope for gratitude, reciprocity, or acknowledgement. When these expectations go unmet, it can leave us feeling disheartened or even resentful. But why do we expect acknowledgement in the first place? Often, it's because we seek validation or a sense of purpose through our actions. This is not inherently wrong. It is deeply human. However, when our acts of kindness hinge on external recognition, we tether our happiness to factors beyond our control. When others fail to meet our expectations, disappointment follows like a shadow. Buddhist wisdom teaches us radical acceptance, to embrace reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Instead of clinging to outcomes, we're guided to give with a clear mind and a calm heart. True generosity arises from a space of inner abundance. It's about sharing because you have enough, not because you seek something in return. Consider this. When you offer water to a thirsty traveler, is it not the act itself that brings joy? The simple knowledge that you have eased another's suffering? By focusing on the act rather than the outcome, you liberate yourself from the chains of expectation and open the door to boundless compassion. Ask yourself, am I giving to uplift others, or am I seeking to fulfill my own desires? Can I find joy in the act of giving, independent of how it is received? Reflect on this deeply. The next time you offer kindness, let go of the need for acknowledgement. Watch how this shift transforms both your heart and your interactions. 2. Conditioning others to depend on you. When we give without pause, we risk creating a cycle where others lean on us for support rather than standing on their own. At first, it may feel rewarding to be the one people turn to. We might believe we're indispensable, or even that our compassion defines us. But over time, this continuous giving can weigh us down. It's not just about physical exhaustion, it's about emotional strain and the subtle erosion of boundaries. Buddhism teaches us the principle of mindful detachment, which is not about withholding kindness, but offering it in a way that empowers others. Imagine kindness as a lantern. Its purpose is to illuminate the path, not to carry someone across it. True compassion involves guiding others to recognize their own strength, their own ability to solve problems, and navigate challenges. When we help too much, we might unintentionally send the message that we don't trust others to manage their own lives. This can lead to dependency, a state where they expect us to step in for every difficulty. Over time, this dynamic becomes a burden for both sides. The giver feels drained and the receiver loses the chance to grow. Pause and ask yourself, am I helping this person flourish, or am I unintentionally holding them back? Reflecting on this question can transform the way you approach kindness. By setting healthy boundaries, you're not being selfish, you're being wise. You're choosing to uplift others in a way that fosters independence and resilience. After all, isn't the highest form of kindness one that allows someone to stand tall on their own? 3. Neglecting your own needs. In the pursuit of kindness, we often overlook a vital truth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. When you prioritize everyone else's needs over your own, you risk losing touch with your inner peace and well-being. Imagine for a moment a river that has been drained to water every field around it. What remains of the river? A barren bed, unable to nurture life within or beyond itself. Buddhism teaches us that self-care is not selfish. It is essential. It is the foundation from which all compassion flows. truly give to others, you must first give to yourself. Think of self-care as tending to the roots of a tree. Without nourishment, the tree cannot bear fruit, provide shade, or stand firm against the winds of life. Similarly, when you neglect your own needs, you lose the ability to offer genuine support to those around you. Consider this. You are preparing to light someone's lantern. To do so, your flame must be steady, unwavering. But what happens when you've neglected to shield your own flame? The wind of life's demands will extinguish it, leaving you in darkness, unable to assist anyone else. This is why Buddhism emphasizes the concept of balance, or the middle way. You must nurture your mind and body with the same care and compassion that you extend to others. Self-care can be as simple as taking a quiet moment to breathe deeply, to meditate, or to walk mindfully in nature. It is in these moments that you reconnect with your inner strength and clarity. When you care for yourself, you create a wellspring of peace that overflows into the lives of those around you. Your kindness becomes sustainable, not a sacrifice, but a gift that renews itself with every act of self-compassion. Let your self-care be a form of kindness to the world. When you honor your needs, you set an example for others to do the same. You remind them that compassion begins within, radiating outward like ripples on a tranquil pond. So pause and ask yourself today, how can I nurture my own flame so it may continue to light the way for others? 4. Being seen as weak kindness is often celebrated as a virtue. Yet in a world that sometimes mistakes softness for weakness, it can become a double-edged sword. Imagine a person who always says yes, no matter how unfair the request. They take on tasks that aren't theirs to shoulder, all in the name of being kind. Over time, this person becomes overwhelmed, burdened by the weight of others' expectations. Now picture that same person confidently setting boundaries, smiling kindly but firmly saying, "No, I cannot do this right now." There is power in that no, a strength that commands respect and creates space for mutual understanding. True kindness requires strength. It's not about pleasing everyone. It's about balancing compassion for others with compassion for yourself. When you lack boundaries, your kindness can be exploited. People may see your willingness to help as an invitation to take advantage. This doesn't mean they're inherently malicious. Often, they're simply following the path of least resistance. But without clear limits, you risk becoming a vessel for others' demands, losing sight of your own needs in the process. The Buddhist principle of right action, Handong-dun, offers guidance here. It teaches us to act with integrity and wisdom, ensuring that our choices align with both our values and our well-being. Setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness. It's a profound expression of self-respect. When you value your time and energy, you signal to others that they should too. Saying no can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're used to being the one who always steps in to help. But consider this. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to something that could nourish you. By learning to say no with grace and clarity, you create a balance where your kindness uplifts rather than depletes you. Practice this. The next time you're asked to do something that feels unfair or overwhelming, pause. Take a breath. Reflect on whether this request aligns with your values and capacity. If it doesn't, say no kindly but firmly. For example, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I won't be able to take this on right now." Notice how people's perceptions shift. The respect they have for you grows because you've shown respect for yourself. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are bridges to healthier, more balanced relationships. They allow you to give from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. In protecting your own energy, you model strength and inspire others to do the same. Remember, kindness that flows from a well-cared-for heart is infinitely more powerful and enduring than kindness born from exhaustion. Embrace the strength in your kindness and let it be a light for others to follow. 5. Attracting people who take without giving kindness is a powerful force. It has the ability to bring people together, to heal, and to transform. However, like a flame that draws moths, kindness can also attract those who are only there to take, leaving you drained and depleted. This phenomenon is not new. It's a natural consequence of energy dynamics. When you exude warmth and generosity, you become a glowing light in a world often cloaked in shadows. Yet, without discernment, that same light can become a beacon for opportunists who seek to bask in it without contributing to its glow. In Buddhism, we are taught to cultivate mindfulness, an intentional awareness of the present moment that helps us see things clearly. Mindfulness is like a lantern that illuminates the intentions of those around us. It allows us to distinguish between genuine connections and relationships rooted in self-interest. By practicing mindfulness, you develop the ability to notice patterns in your interactions. Who shows up only when they need something? Who leaves you feeling energized? And who leaves you feeling empty? These reflections are vital for safeguarding your inner peace. Imagine yourself as a vessel of light, a radiant orb that shines brightest when nurtured with care. If you allow too many people to draw from your light without replenishment, you risk dimming your own brilliance. But if you choose wisely, surrounding yourself with those who reciprocate your kindness and uplift your spirit, your light not only sustains itself, it grows even brighter. This doesn't mean shutting people out or withholding your kindness. It means being mindful of where your energy flows. Buddhist philosophy also reminds us of the importance of non-attachment. This does not mean being indifferent, but rather maintaining a balanced perspective. When you practice non-attachment, you learn to give without expecting anything in return. And you also learn to step back when your giving becomes one-sided. Letting go of relationships that drain you doesn't make you unkind, it makes you wise. So pause and reflect. Who in your life nurtures your light and who dims it? This simple question can guide you toward healthier, more balanced connections. Remember, kindness is not just about giving to others, it's also about being kind to yourself. When you protect your energy and choose your relationships mindfully, you honor the sacred light within you. That light is your gift to the world. Guard it well. 6. Developing unhealthy habits. Have you ever found yourself reaching for an extra slice of cake, scrolling endlessly through your phone, or indulging in other activities that feel comforting in the moment, but leave you empty afterward? These behaviors are not signs of weakness. They are signals. Signals that something within you is out of alignment. When we give too much of ourselves to others, whether through time, energy, or emotional support, we create voids. These voids are not physical, but emotional, and in our search to fill them, we often turn to overindulgence. In Buddhism, there is a principle of mindful living, often described as living with full awareness of the present moment. This awareness allows us to observe our cravings and habits without judgment. It's not about denying yourself pleasures, but understanding their origins. Why am I eating when I'm not hungry? Why am I glued to my screen when my mind is exhausted? These questions help us uncover the emotional gaps we are trying to fill. The root cause of these unhealthy habits is often a lack of balance. In our eagerness to be kind and giving, we neglect the most important relationship in our lives, the one we have with ourselves. Think of it this way. If your body, mind, and spirit were a garden, how would it look right now? Are the plants thriving, or are they wilting because the gardener is too busy tending to other gardens? The Buddhist path reminds us that true fulfillment is found not in excess, but in harmony. To care for others deeply, we must first care for ourselves diligently. Self-care is not selfish, it's sacred. When you nourish your body with healthy food, your mind with uplifting thoughts, and your spirit with moments of peace, you create a foundation that allows kindness to flow effortlessly. The next time you find yourself reaching for something, it food, your phone, or a distraction, pause. Ask yourself, what am I truly seeking? Often the answer isn't a thing, it's a feeling, a sense of rest, connection, or inner calm. Remember, you are not a limitless source of energy. Like the moon waxing and waning, you too must honor your cycles of giving and receiving. Prioritize balance over busyness, and let mindful living guide you back to harmony. In doing so, you'll not only transform your unhealthy habits, but also rediscover the joy and clarity that come from living authentically. Reflect on this. Am I caring for myself as lovingly as I care for others? 7. Facing skepticism. In a world where kindness is increasingly rare, it is often met with skepticism rather than gratitude. Imagine a moment when you extend a helping hand, only to be greeted with suspicious glances or questions about your true intentions. It can feel deeply disheartening, even unfair, to have your genuine care and compassion misunderstood. But this reaction is not a reflection of your character. Rather, it reveals a societal conditioning born out of fear, mistrust, and past experiences. Buddhism offers profound guidance through the practice of equanimity, Tanbing Than, a state of inner calm and balance that allows us to navigate life's challenges without being swayed by external judgments. Equanimity teaches us to anchor ourselves in our values, to act with integrity, and to let go of the need for external validation. When your kindness stems from sincerity and a pure heart, it carries an energy that transcends doubt and mistrust. Even if it takes time, the truth of your intentions will shine through like the sun breaking through the clouds. Consider this. When others question your motives, it often has less to do with you and more to do with their own insecurities or experiences of being let down. Instead of taking their skepticism personally, view it as an opportunity to practice patience and compassion. Responding with understanding rather than frustration not only strengthens your resolve, but also subtly teaches others the value of kindness untainted by ulterior motives. Kindness, at its core, is not a transaction. It is not about receiving gratitude, recognition, or approval. It is a reflection of your inner harmony and the values you hold dear. Think of a flower that blooms in a remote forest, unseen by anyone. Its beauty and fragrance are not diminished by the lack of an audience. Similarly, your acts of kindness retain their worth regardless of how they are perceived. The Buddha's teachings remind us that our actions define us, not the reactions they elicit. By staying true to your principles and continuing to act with compassion, you embody the highest form of strength. Kindness is not weakness, it is courage. It is the ability to rise above doubt, to persist in goodness despite adversity, and to create ripples of positivity in a world that desperately needs it. So the next time your kindness is met with skepticism, pause and take a deep breath. Remind yourself that the integrity of your actions is what truly matters. Let your kindness flow freely, unburdened by the weight of others' judgments. In doing so, you not only nurture your own spirit, but also plant seeds of trust and hope in the hearts of those who doubt. Over time, these seeds may grow into a deeper understanding and appreciation for the light you bring into the world. 8. Draining your energy. Imagine walking through a breathtaking garden, every flower radiating vibrant colors and soft fragrances. But as you walk deeper, you notice something peculiar. The gardener tending these flowers is growing weary. Their hands tremble, their posture droops, and their vitality seems to drain with every step. Soon, even the flowers they care for start to wilt, reflecting the energy they've poured into their care. This imagery is a powerful metaphor for what happens when kindness is offered without balance. Kindness is an act of beauty and compassion, but it must flow from a wellspring that is regularly replenished. If you give and give without ever pausing to nurture your own inner reservoir, you will eventually find yourself depleted, mentally, emotionally, and physically. This isn't selfishness, it is self-awareness. Buddhism teaches us the wisdom of the middle way. a path of balance that avoids the extremes of overindulgence and deprivation. Kindness, too, must walk this middle path. When we overextend ourselves, the signs of burnout creep in: fatigue, irritability, even resentment toward the very people we seek to help. This is why mindfulness is not just a practice, it is a necessity. Regular meditation allows us to tune into our inner state, to recognize when our energy is running low, and to replenish it before we reach the point of exhaustion. Solitude, often misunderstood as isolation, becomes a sacred retreat where the mind can breathe and the spirit can recalibrate. Consider this. Just as a lamp cannot give light without oil, you cannot illuminate the lives of others without sustaining your own. Every act of kindness should begin with an inward question. Am I giving from a place of abundance or depletion? If the answer leans toward depletion, it's time to step back and practice self-care. This doesn't mean abandoning kindness, it means ensuring that your kindness is sustainable and genuine. Engage in activities that recharge you. This could be as simple as sitting quietly with a cup of tea, walking in nature, or immersing yourself in a creative pursuit. These moments are not indulgences, they are essential maintenance for your soul. When you prioritize your well-being, your kindness becomes a gift that flows effortlessly, without the hidden weight of resentment or fatigue. So today, ask yourself, how am I recharging my mind, body, and spirit? Let this question guide you to a balance that honors both your compassion and your own well-being. In doing so, you not only preserve your energy, but also ensure that the garden of your life continues to bloom with vitality and joy. Kindness is a gift, a light that illuminates the paths of others. But like any flame, it needs fuel to burn brightly. By embracing balance, setting boundaries, and nurturing your own well-being, you can embody a kindness that uplifts without exhausting, inspires without depleting, and connects without compromising. So take a moment, reflect on your kindness. Let it be strong, steady, and sustainable. For in nurturing your inner light, you become a beacon for the world. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. Let's create a ripple of balanced kindness together. And remember to subscribe for more insights on mindfulness and the art of living.